Ready to go live. Yeah, we are live. Good, good evening, good night, my beautiful people. How are you? How's everybody doing? I am so sorry that we have been just having technical issues, but as we all know, technology fails us when we really need it the most. But what can we do? We have to just keep riding on, and that's what exactly that we are doing. My guest and I have just been going like just all over the place to try and just get things sorted. It hasn't been easy, but truthfully, everything that you do is a learning experience. So I'm just trying to ensure that all this is shared. Please, if you're watching this, share this on your own platform. Please also disregard the previous stream because that one was giving us just such a headache, you know. So but we are here and we are ready to ride on. The devil is a liar, and we are not going to be defeated. So we are here again, and we are going to get the show started. So properly, if you are watching this, can you please do me a huge favor? And just share it on your own platform. Share it with your people because today we have just like a very inspirational show. We have uh, my guest today is just going to leave you kind of like just like wow, because she's gone through so much, yet she is always there riding on and staying strong and all of these things. And sometimes even I wonder, like, are you able to do this? But that is what makes her special. So we are here at the end of the day. Regardless, we're here, and that's what's important. Sorry, I'm looking to the side. I just want to check to make sure that everything is going well because, well, it seems like luck was not on our side initially, but again, that is fine. We will deal with this and we will do what needs to be done. And if you're watching, say hello, say hi, and so I'll be sure to shout you out and all of that. So if you're watching, you can see us. If you can hear us, okay, now is me. You can hear me, you can see me, and all of that. Please just say hello, and then I'll be able to know that, oh, okay, somebody can hear us. And please do share this on your platform and share it so we can get the more the merrier, so we can get people coming in and watching and all of that because what we're about to discuss today is so important. We're already getting some messages from those watching just for us to make sure we know. We have Aminata Bangura, who is my own very, mom, saying hello, May. Hi, mommy. Thank you for being here, and we apologize for the delays. We've just been having all these issues with technology, but nothing will stop us from going and keep riding. It does not matter what happens. Best believe we are going to keep going and not give up. And it's so funny because really that fits into what we are going to be discussing today and our special guest that we have. So we're not going to waste much of your time because, well, obviously technology has already done that. So we are going to try our best not to waste much of your time. And so, just as I said, please share this if you can on your own page, share it wherever you need to share it, and anywhere else that people are going to be able to watch it. And yeah, and we have another comment here. We have my very own brother from another mother saying, blessing says, thank you so much, John. And I just want to wish you a happy belated birthday. Hope you had a wonderful day. And John is part of my team back home that helping to push the Dora Foundation. But let's get to the main reason we are here today. Today, we are going to be speaking with our special guest. And this is somebody that has already been on my platform, that I've already interviewed. But obviously, since that interview, there's been so many changes and so much that she is doing right now that I felt that it was only right to bring her back so we can really get ourselves updated on what it is that she's up to. And so we have in our midst, um, let me bring her on, and that we have Kemi Tijani. Good night. Well, I can't even say good evening. Good night, Kemi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks
All
for
right.
um,
It's all right. Thank you so much for your patience, and I'm so deeply sorry for all the issues, technical issues we were dealing with.
no.
But we are here now, and that is what is important. So we're going to get straight to the point. Today, we are going to be discussing number one, inequality and kind of discrimination in the health system, especially for people like us that have a hidden, unseen disability. We
Mhm.
are going to also touch on just getting that strength to ride through the most difficult times. And we are going to talk about her books, her two amazing two-in-one book launch. Amazing that I was honored to be part of, and I was honored to be, have even given the opportunity to read it even before it was out. And that I'm so truly proud of everything that this beautiful woman, Kemi Tijani, has achieved. And I feel like her story will really help so many people. It will help you to get motivated, be inspired. Know that in life, it doesn't matter how difficult a situation, you always need to focus on finding a solution to your situation. And we are going to be talking about that. Welcome, Kemi. Welcome again. Well, welcome back onto the Power Hour. You were
Thank you,
one of, yeah,
Angel.
she's already been a guest before, so I'm truly honored to have you back to just talk about everything that's been happening since our previous interview. So, for those that have not watched that interview and the program that we did before the live stream, please tell us about yourself and kind of your journey to get to where you are today. Just a summary.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kemi Tijani. Before I say much, I just want to greet you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I know the world has gone global now. And we can be I'm in my kitchen at the moment, and I can say hello to you beautiful people. Anyway, my name is Kemi Tijani. A sickle cell survivor. So if you hear that and say what do I mean? Like, I was born with sickle cell, and I had sickle cell for 35 years. I lived with it. Then 6 years ago now, I had a bone marrow transplant, and things have changed. Then and now is like I'm into extreme body, from being weak and sick to being strong and having so much strength. So I'm a mom of three. I work with children, young children. I love working with children with disability, which is my passion. I love to get to know them and use their own strength to overcome some of their weaknesses. So I do host Flourishing with Sickle Cell on Instagram. So where I encourage other warriors to live their life to the fullest and look beyond just treating sickle cell and go for a cure. Yeah, I'm a new author. I've written two books, two incredible books, which I'm really proud of. One is my sickle cell journey to show warriors and to tell their family and every other person that cared to know about my journey, how I use my weakness to gain strength, and the challenges life has thrown at me and how I've been able to overcome it by standing up for myself, especially with the healthcare service. And I think we are going to get to most of the things I'm trying to say, but without jumping really fast. That's just me in a nutshell. um yeah, that's it. So I don't know, Miriam. Can you hear me? I can't see you anymore. Can you still hear me? You're on mute.
Yeah, no, I just wanted for you to have that time to be able to just
Yeah.
really fill people in, because this is not your first time here. So don't worry, be comfortable. But I just wanted to ask, what has happened, whether positive or negative, since our last interview, since you were last on previously on the Power Hour? What has changed? What's happened since then?
Yeah, thank you for that question. A lot have changed, really. Yeah, it was still during lockdown when I came in. Yeah, I think it was in April when I came to Power Hour, to your wonderful show. Yeah, since then, a lot have been happening in the background. Yeah, still doing flourishing with sickle cell, which is amazing. I do flourishing with flourishing health as well, where I encourage people to eat well and mind their health. Like, you can be so many things in this world, but if you don't take care of your health, you could have so many dreams. It's your health, is your body that is going to carry you to achieve everything you want to achieve. So that is on a side. And I've written two incredible books. So I'm now an author. It was something that that was a dream. But now I have two wonderful books. This is one day at a time. And I have a children's book as well, to encourage children to eat healthy food by themselves without the parents constantly interfering. So these two little babies, I would say, was in making at that time. It was a lot of sleepless nights. I've never done it before. It was a lot of learning, but yeah, eventually I think it's paid off now. So Miriam, that's what I've been. I was pregnant with two books, but now they are here.
To God be the glory that you've been able to birth these wonderful stories, right?
Yes.
So for me, I know there are so many people that dream about writing, publishing their own book. One of those people I dream about, I talk about, I've been doing the work. But like for yourself, with your experience, publishing not just one but two books at a time, what was the journey like to get you from an idea to an actual published book, to the masterpieces that you have?
Yeah. Uh, I think the idea started a long time, but I didn't really think of it. Like, I recently, I was talking about how I started. I realized as a child in secondary school, I do write poems, which it doesn't really get anywhere. I just write, that's all, that's the end of it. But after my bone marrow transplant in 2015, yes, then I went for a surgery in 2016. So when I came back and I recovered, with sickle cell limits a lot of things that I could do. So as soon as I got better, I went to college. I went to study early childhood intervention and all that. So, and the way I was so dedicated to my assignment, in fact, my assignment is on point. At that point, that was the first time I got the idea I could write a book. because my assignment is like writing introduction, then you conclude, you write the body, you write about how you got your information and all that. So it actually gave me that confidence that I could write a book. But that was it. End of story. I don't even know what I was going to write about. But I know I have an incredible story, which is my journey. And our journey is so unique to us that, yeah, I've experienced sickle cell before, I've experienced motherhood, I've experienced different things, that life lessons that I could teach other people. But to be honest, I didn't think about it. I just knew maybe one day, but I never set a date to that one day until during the lockdown. And I was trying to, it was now obvious to me how my daughter was eating. She's a sweet, sweet girl, and she just constantly into sweet stuff, which I'm the opposite. And I had to explain to her about healthy eating. So, like, my own style of parenting is about negotiating. So it's not about just telling the child, sit down there, that's it, do that. Sometimes we do that. But most of the time I try to negotiate, get to know what's on their mind, what's going on, and if we can come to an agreement and have an understanding. So anyway, I sat her down. We did talk about healthy eating and the reason why she has to choose healthy food. So this idea just popped in my head, and I just said, your friends on the inside, your brain that helps you to think and talk, and your heart pump the blood. So it's what you eat that your friends are going to have. That's what is going to make you strong and grow well. And the way her mood changed, she lights up and she was so interested in what I was saying. So that was it. That was the end of conversation. And every time she wanted to choose something really, really sweet out of the league, I just remind her that, your friends on the inside are waiting, they are relying on you to make a better choice. They can't do it themselves. And then she will change her mind, she will make a good choice. So I said it to one of my friends. After some weeks, a conversation just came up. And that, my friend, was the one that speak an author into my life. She just told me at that point, this is a book. This is not just an ordinary story. This can be told to so many children, and we help them to make that choice of eating healthy. So I was doing my course already. I was so eager to learn that after I finished my early childhood course, I just, because I love food, I just, not that I love eating food, but I love entertaining. I love knowing about
Mhm.
food, where it comes from. If I eat this food, what is it going to do in my body? I love learning those kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, after my course in the UCC, I just started writing. And this is the book today. Yeah.
One of them, I guess, because you
Yes,
have
one of them.
two
One of
different
them.
ones.
Yeah.
So there's some people that will wonder, like, so if I want to write a book, a memoir, whatever, a book, it can be non-fiction or fiction. How long realistically do I need to put that together? What is your advice? Because sometimes we will keep putting it off and off and off and off. And some people, until that day they are 6 feet under, they never get the opportunity to actually put all of that into a book. So what would be your advice for, somebody going through that or experiencing that?
Yeah. I will use my own personal experience, which is the second book, my One Day at a Time. When I wanted to, it was inspired through a program I did, and a lot of people encouraged me to put my story in a book. So the first thing I did was I set a time to myself that I was going to finish the book by I think it was May 22 or something. I gave myself 3 months to write the book. So, and every time I was writing or I wanted to get stuck, I would remember I gave myself time. So that kept me going. It was a lot of sacrifice because there are some TV program I don't watch anymore, and I just do what I have to do as a mom, and I still want to be involved in my family. I don't want my head to be buried somewhere on the computer. So I was still doing my motherly duty, my wife duty, and all that. So every spare time I had was just to write. So it was a lot of sacrifice. But I think for somebody who is really serious about it, is about setting time and say, okay, I'm going to give myself 3 months or I'm going to give myself 4 months to put this story down. But at the same time, know what you're writing about. If you have to do a little bit of research, go ahead and do your research. If you have to ask questions, go ahead and write it. But have in mind also who are going to read this book. Is your book, who are your audience? Is your book meant for children? So if your book meant to instruct somebody to be a better business person or be a better mom, so know who are your audience and think about what your audience would like and go in that perspective. Like for the children's book, I knew I don't want a book that is just black book or a book that is just white book. I wanted children's book. I want a child to pick my book up and see themselves in that book. I want a child with disability to look at that book and said, yes, I am well represented in this book. So those were my goals. So know who are your audience, know what they want, know what to make them happy, and put your message as simple as possible. Yeah, that would be my advice. Set time for yourself, know what you're writing about, do your research, do your findings. If it's a fiction book, definitely you want to get your story right. If it's your own personal story, what then another thing you can ask yourself, what's going to be the length of the book? Who are your audience? I know my audience are mostly going to be the African heritage and those people that are affected with sickle cell. So you want, books like that is not the one you are describing the sky for 2 page, how beautiful the sky is. Nobody has patience for that because of the type of audience. They want answers, as in they want to read first page and let that page speak to them. So for me, in one day at a time, I knew that the people that will be reading it, they want answers straight away. So I just everything was just on point. I know you can testify to that. And I was reading it today myself. I said, "Oh, I should have put more there." I'm like, "No, no, it's fine the way it is. The people that need it, they are going to find value in it." So that would be my advice, really.
I think that is such a fantastic advice. Mm, That is such a fantastic advice because many times people have these goals and they have these things that they want to achieve. But I think what we don't think about is you have to break that goal or mission into achievable and realistic objectives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when it comes to authors that I've spoken to, some who say every day they say this is the number of words that I have to write for this day, or I have to complete this by this day, because otherwise it just becomes another work that is shelved and you might never again think of it. And then down the line, somebody may come up with that and end up being really successful and rich from an idea that you had so long ago.
Yeah.
And back regarding, the book, of course, and publishing, what is your advice when it comes to publishing? Because I know you can go with self-publishing and you can go with a publishing company based on your experience. So let's say if somebody is a new writer who does not have that experience, they haven't gone through it, what would be your advice regarding that? Because it can get really confusing and a lot more.
Yeah, that's a good one, to be honest. It's something you have to think about when writing a book. Where do you want your book to get to? In my own case, I went self-publishing. And the reason why I did that is because I don't have to be explaining myself and try to convince somebody to buy into my story and see if there's a market for it, you know. So that is one thing. If you go with publishing company, at the end of the day, they want to look at your book. How many how many copies is this book going to sell? Is about money, you know. And you know your story, you know where you have been, you know who is going to look at your book and find a lot of strength from your book. So you are not necessarily looking how many am I going to sell. You are looking how many life is this book going to touch, which was it in my own case. But at the same time, if you go self-publishing, is a lot of work, I must tell you. Is a lot of work, but you have control over your work. You have control where your book gets to, which website you want to upload your book, which bookshop you want to sell your book. If you want to go into that route, because some people will write their books and just leave it in ebook and that's it. They are happy to leave it there. But some write their books, they want it to be available in bookshops, in library, all over the world. It's possible to do that. But with self-publishing, you can do that, but it's a lot of work. With publisher, you are only getting very little fraction of the money. That's it. If your, for example, if your book sells for £5, your production cost and everything, it might be £2. The publisher probably gets another £1. Your marketer gets another one. You probably left with less than £1 that is going to come to you. That's one route of publishing company. But the publishing company will get your book out there really fast. If they believe in that book, your book is going to go everywhere. That is if you find a good publishing company. Because some publishing company have heard they will promise you, oh, your book is going to be number one bestseller, this, but then they don't do what they say. So going self-publishing, which I did, gives you control, and you can actually take your journey step by step according to your own pace. You are not running, you are not, since you know who you are, you know who you want to handle your book to. You know who is going to learn from your story, which community is going to benefit from what you have to say. So you can go at your own pace without rushing, and you have control, you have the rights to your book. But with publishing, Omo, you don't have the right. They take over, they dictate to you. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I think sometimes people get it wrong. Some people think self-publishing is easy. Some people think that okay, I just publish it and that's it. People are going to rush to get my book, and then they don't think about all the other aspects
Hmm.
that go towards promoting that book. For example, what you're doing. That is one of the things you're doing. That like press interviews to promote what you are doing. But
Yeah.
some people, I feel like they just think, okay, this is a fantastic idea. If I can just go put it on a piece of paper, that is it. I'm going to be successful. You understand? Which is not how it works.
No.
And but we get down the line in terms of your goals and how people can also benefit. People that are experiencing issues like that. But I wanted to ask you, so mm, recently I know there have been talks about, inequality and discrimination when it comes to healthcare. And as people who have sickle cell, which is an unseen disability. I personally have faced that over and over again with people looking at me and thinking, what is wrong with you? You know, and people I think thinking that because we are women, black women, we should basically be, this warrior strong and we should not complain. So have you experienced anything like that in terms of like inequality and also like discrimination within healthcare? Because I know you live in Ireland, which I I don't know how much the facilities they have there when it comes to sickle cell, but all I know is that most of the effective ones that are really proactive are in London. So, what's been your experience relating to that?
Yeah, thank you for asking that wonderful question. I think we can't emphasize this enough. It's something that is happening, you know, it's probably happening as we speak. Yeah, when I had sickle cell, it was like I described so much in my book about sickle cell being an invisible enemy. What I mean by that is you can see Miriam, you can see me looking beautiful, and you don't have a broken leg or you are not bleeding anywhere, and still you are crying, you are asking for help, you know. Sickle cell is something they read about in Ireland, I would say, maybe in UK, maybe it's something that is really common. But here, at one point in the hospital I attend, I was the only adult sickle cell patient. So for many nurses I meet, for many doctors, they haven't seen sickle cell patient before, so they don't even know what to expect. So sometimes when you're crying for help, I remember one time I had crisis. I was taken to hospital, and I was taken to the A&E. They gave my doctor came, which was the hematology team. They came to check me. They gave me there was instruction of what the nurses should do, and yeah, the instruction was followed. I got all the medicine, and I think few hours later I was pushed to the corridor waiting for a bed to go into the ward, and the pain came back. But at that time I was alone, my husband wasn't there, or my kids. And I was just crying. Everybody was looking at me, including the visitors that came to visit. No nurse came to me and said, "Are you okay?" No doctor came, even though I was in A&E. And I was crying. Even when I tried to call people to my rescue, like nurse, so that I can even explain that I have another crisis, I need painkiller. Nobody came. They kept every time they come, they want to walk past me, they increase their pace, and they walk really quickly, and they didn't answer me at all. So when I saw that happening, I wasn't crying because of that pain anymore, because of crisis pain. I was crying because of that ignorance about people that are supposed to care, rather than judging you to even know if you are in pain or not. My saving grace that day was my phone rang, and something told me really clear in my ears and said, "Pick up your phone." I gathered myself. I almost fell from the tiny bed I was lying in because my body couldn't just stay still. I was rolling, but while I was at the same time I was trying not to fall. So I gathered myself. I picked up my phone, and it was my husband. And I told my husband, "Just call my team. Call the hospital. Guys, I was already in the hospital. Call the hospital, ask for the hematology team, because these are the people that understand me. Apart from that team, nobody understand what sickle cell is." So my all of a sudden a nurse came running to me. These are some of the nurses that were just walking up and down that didn't even know I was there. Came to me and said, "Are you Kemi Tijani?" I said, "Yes, I am." tearfully, and she gave me medicine because my team had already gave that instruction. This is happening. I can recount so many times this happened to me. It's not just once or twice, or you know, it has happened so many times. I've been asked to shut up because I had crisis in the middle of the night. I've been asked to keep quiet because I was crying. They thought I was disturbing other patients, you know. So this is it's really happening, and we need to put our voice together and talk about how sickle cell patients feels. You know, it's a different thing to have pain. It's another thing to be ignored because you have pain that you didn't inflict on yourself. Because it's so obvious for patients that just had an accident and the patient is bleeding or their hand is broken. It's so obvious to know that patient has a pain. But to sickle cell patients, is such an invisible enemy that nobody can see. Only you can see the enemy, only you can feel it. Like your husband, your wife don't even know how you feel at that moment. They can just see you crying because that's the only way you can express that pain. If a pregnant woman is in labor, we all know she's in pain. But this sickle cell crisis we are talking about is more than being in labor. At least I've been in twice. I can compare. I've been in labor, I've been in crisis. So I can tell you, labor, please, you can't compare it. So this is really, really happening. It's really happening. There has to be a way. There has to be a way where doctors, nurses, healthcare provider, they have to listen to the patients. They have to listen. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's so crazy because all of these things that you talk about, that you describe, these are things that I have personally experienced myself. That kind of, inequality, discrimination when it comes to health. And sometimes, people look at us from the outside and they feel like everything is okay.
Yeah.
But just yesterday, I was in the clinic all day long because I'd been in pain. But somebody's not going to look at me and know that. Why?
Mm,
Because I know how to keep everything together. I know how to just pass through things and not let that consume me for so long. I don't let that. I know life goes on. Not only am I, a person, I'm also a mother, just like you. So I have to prioritize my kids and what their needs. I need to make sure I'm there for when they finish school, regardless of the pain that I'm going through. But
mhm,
then when you go to the same people that are supposed to help you and they are judging you without even you opening your mouth, they've already made judgment about you, about the kind of person you are.
mhm,
Besides sickle cell, I've spoken about this before on my YouTube. Besides sickle cell, I have endometriosis. It took literally about 5 years for me to be diagnosed. And every time I was having that pain, even my mom and family, they were able to see the correlation, right, between my, menstrual, cycle and that pain. My mom, being a nurse, was able to spot all of this. We kept it all on record. And it seemed like every time that I started my period, even before I started getting so much pain, we pushed so hard to try and just get investigations done. We kept pushing to the point that my mom can attest to this. That a medical staff had the audacity to say to me, right? It was all in my head. that I needed therapy. Can you
Seriously.
imagine?
Seriously.
Can you imagine? My mom was wanted to lose it. My family wanted to lose it. They made it seem like this is all in my head. All that pain I was feeling that I could barely move. I'm crawling on the floor. Those that love and know me, they know this is not the same person. Because when
Mm,
I'm okay, I'm the light of the party. I'm the one, ooh, let's do this, let's do. You already know, over the
yeah.
few months that we worked together. When I'm okay, I'm on the go, go. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. But when I'm not all right, I can barely even just talk. The minute they pick up my call or they call me and I go, hello, they already know I'm not well
Mm,
because you cannot hide these things. But
yeah.
it took so long to just get a diagnosis, let alone a treatment. Why? Because to them, they had labeled me as a sickle cell patient, and we have too many issues for them to concentrate on.
Oh my.
So they did not go and try to specifically investigate what was going on. And thankfully, I had a mother who was a nurse and had that medical background to keep pushing and fighting before I was finally diagnosed with endometriosis. All that time, I was suffering and I was not being treated equally. There was an incident as well. I went to a meeting, right, at a hotel, like a conference at a hotel. The meeting happened on the ground, like basement or ground level, right? While we were there, I started feeling breathless, because like the air reduces. I was literally like gasping for breath, and we had to go back up to the reception. By the time we got there, I was in agony, I was in pain, and all of that. They tried to call 999, rushed me to hospital. I was there, suited and booted, only to be in A&E. Can you imagine?
God.
After I had all these plans. And the crazy thing is, when I got there, this I had like five or four different nurses, whatever else, coming asking me the same question, asking me the same question. After the third person, I was frustrated because, mind you, while they had not even given me any treatment whatsoever. Instead, they just kept asking questions, questions. So by the time the third person came, I'm like, I'm tired of this. If Because I know my rights and I know the policy. You understand? Within London or St. I don't know if that applies to other hospitals, but within 30 minutes of having a sickle cell patient, you need to at least administer some sort of treatment while you're doing other things. If you need to do bloods, you need to this, but you need to find a way to manage that pain within 30 minutes. But looking at me, this doctor thought I was dumb. I knew nothing. I'm just, nagging and all that. And he had the audacity to say, well, if you are in so much pain, why are you just here complaining?
Oh God.
I was like, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, our Father, the grace, because I didn't want to lose my mind on him. But these are the things that we have to go through because they see us as we should be fine. You look okay, you should be okay. But my whole thing of doing this and my passion towards it is for people to know that we come human beings.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Miriam is back. Miriam, I can't hear you. Yeah. While we are waiting. Okay. Miriam is back again. No. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Miriam? Okay. While we are waiting for Miriam. Yeah. Try the Bluetooth. I can see your mouth moving, so I can pick up what you're saying.
Is that only
Yes, you are back. I can hear you now, Miriam. Yeah, while we are waiting for Miriam, yeah, I've had a similar experience as well. But the only thing I could say differently is my because of the relationship with my own doctors over the years, they understand that when I'm saying something, they have to listen, because if I tell them there's something wrong with me, they do their test, they see that that thing is really, really wrong. So we have been able to build that relationship that when I say something is wrong, then they know. But for you to be under a consultant and then they don't diagnose something, that's really, really wrong. And for you to be in the hospital and one nurse is coming after the other, because that is so wrong, in the sense that when you have the pain, you just need help. The only thing is, which can be so difficult, is having the pain and then they are starting with paracetamol when you need like morphine to just kick the pain off. And once you start explaining to them, this is what I need according to the pain I have, I
hmm
don't need paracetamol right now, it's not going to do anything, then they don't listen. They just think, oh, you are drug addicts, you are just looking for drug. So
Exactly.
that is
Exactly.
very, very painful. Very
It
painful.
is. And you're watching people looking at you and just making judgment when they don't even understand what
Yeah.
you're going through. Because at the end of the day, especially when you have kids, you have a family, that is the very last thing you want to do.
Oh, trust me,
That's
yes.
the very last thing. What people know, but when I finally, sometimes I have to be pushed. Those my loved ones will get frustrated because I don't want to go, because I'm thinking, oh God, here we go again. I'm going to go there. They're going to this. They're going to that. So that puts me off going.
Hmm.
But some people
Yeah.
don't understand that because it's such a headache. The place that you're supposed to get support is where you are even more scared to go, because when you go there, you are literally going to be interrogated like somebody that has committed a crime.
It's out of judgment.
Ex-
Yeah, because to be honest, if you have kids, even when you have the pain, you want to manage it to the point that you can't bear it anymore before you even think of going. Because you want to stay with your kids, because you know your family needs you. Even though you're in bed, you can't move, you can still give instruction. Okay, go and drink water, go and do this, go and. You are still caring, even as a mom, as a wife, you are still making sure your family is okay. So for you to now leave all that and go and sit down in a lonely hospital, come on, no. Nobody needs that. But
exactly.
yeah,
So regarding, let's go back to the book. Okay, so my friends, on the inside, what inspired you to like put something together? I know you briefly touched on it, but I just wanted to know more, from being inspired to writing something to actually saying, you know what, this is something that can be published, to finding somebody, that's going to be able to publish, or to go with, whether self-publishing or whatever, and then launching it. How was it from the entire process, from you actually, what made you feel like this is something I want to put out there?
yeah. Like I said, when I was doing introducing myself, I work with children. So I work in a preschool between the age of 2 year old and 5 year old. So I've seen, apart from being a mom myself, I can see the way children deal with food and a lot of wastage, and some kids, you see their diet is fantastic. Why some kids, you can tell straight away their diet needs help. It's either they are bringing the same thing every day, there's no variety. For a growing child, it is really important to have variety in their diet to increase their taste and the texture they like and all that. So it's just in my heart to do something, And I was thinking maybe I should have a company where you can serve food to family and children, to relieve the parent, because some of the parents are doing a lot. They don't just have the time. And then he is telling so much on the children's diets. So it just break my heart seeing that day in, day out in my place of work. And another thing that inspired me as a mom, like, I'm a proud mom. Two of my kids have special need, and having that journey of studying about food, what they eat, how it affect them, and the way food can affect our behavior, our learning. So that is when I see a child that is not eating really well, kind of it brings me to my own and say, oh, if I'm learning so much about this, and then the parents are not even aware what they are feeding the children and the effects the food have on their own developing child. So I need to do something. I can't just look away. So anyway, so when I told the story to my daughter, and that's that's light her up, and she was willing to change, I said, well, it's possible that this story can change other kids as well, so that the kids can learn for themselves, not parents telling them now, go and hit this and forcing them. So when a child knows the reason why they are doing something, they are willing to change. Nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be commanded. So is our kids. Even a 2-year-old doesn't want to be commanded. They want to have their own mind and stand their ground. Yeah.
Yep, that is 100% right, because as somebody who's got twins and 5-year-old twins, that they're growing, they're at that point where yes, they want to, eat healthy, but when you're out there, there's so much junk and all of these things. So as much as you try your best at home, you cannot control what they do outside. When they're in school, you can't control it. So I think the best way is to actually educate them to understand. So even when you are not there, they can make the best informed decisions for themselves and say, okay, well, I feel like I've had enough chips. Let me not keep going. Let me get this. Can I have a fruit bag instead of, so they start making those choices. Like for me, my daughter is adamant about being a doctor, and we have to call her Dr. Hannah. So she is constantly reminding other people about eating healthy, eat your vegetable, drink. But yes, she's not up taking her own advice. So she's preaching, but not taking enough. She is just doing as she not doing as she's saying. She wants all of us to do that. But yeah,
Yeah.
she's always going on about sweets, so I have to find ways to kind of educate her, but without kind of like making it something dark and scary
Yeah.
or anything like that, because sometimes when you go to the extreme, they are going to
Yeah.
go to the extreme.
Yeah.
Kids can be very, very rebellious. You
Oh
want
yeah.
them to be vegan, they are going to eat junk food just because they want to be rebellious. So I
Yes.
think as parents, we have to find that happy medium that works for the kids as well. So that's why I try and incorporate food that are fun but healthy at the same time.
Yeah.
And at this stage, my ones, they are at that stage of asking questions over and over. What's the did it? So, I use that opportunity to really just teach them. And I really can't wait to get the book for them. And because I know when they read book, it's different when it's coming from you than when it's coming from a book.
Yeah.
The kids, they are more likely to believe and trust a book and follow the instructions from a book. So you can tell them the same thing.
Forget
You
what you tell
but
them.
they're not going to. What is in a book physically, sometimes that helps them to, because it's not just mommy or daddy nagging at me, but
Mm.
this is something realistic. And I feel like this book is not just even for kids, for us parents, adult, we can learn so much from it. So
Mm.
we are able to implement those things in our household, because guess what, it is not the kitchen, it's not the kids that go to the kitchen, it
Yeah.
is adult, it's us the parent, the adults, loved ones. So we need to be able to have a better understanding, be more educated, so we can kind of reinforce that with our kids. So
Yeah.
even when you are not there, they'll be able to make the best, informed
This is.
choices and decisions for
Mm.
themselves.
Yes.
So that is really fantastic, and I really recommend parents, whether your parent, uncle, whatever it is, to get this. Will make a fantastic Christmas gift for anyone, not just the kids, the teenagers, the parents, because we can all learn something from it. So you see, as it is, even the cover alone is just so attractive. You just want to grab it. So I wanted to ask as well. Uh, I wanted to ask to why you've spoken about, being inspired to write this, but why did you feel like, what, at the end of the day, I need to write this, I need to actually put it down and write this?
Yeah. To be honest, is the behavior of children. I think if we can get them to behave appropriately towards food, then we are going to have a healthy adult that can make a better food decision. Like, you see a lot of children, they don't know innocently, they just eat what is given to them. And some of them will look at a food, and because they haven't tried before, they haven't tasted before, they just look at it and say, I don't like it. They are not open to
Yep.
try something new. They haven't tried it. They just say, no, I don't like it.
Yep.
And then if you even force them, the more they rebel and say, no, I'm not getting that in my mouth. No, it's yucky. And some of them will even try to throw up. So that's, for me, I'll still go back to the behavior of the kids and to my own kids as well. I say I've been lucky with my three kids, but then my princess, she's another tough cookie that I need negotiation to make her hit really well. But this story simplifies I think the way this story came across is just so simple that it talks to the kids directly and it explains nutrition in the simplest way you can think of to any kids, no matter their learning ability or their age. It doesn't matter. And one thing I've, like you said, you just said rightly, Miriam, is kids learn a lot from books. One of the reasons why I've written this book is there was a book I bought for my daughter. I think it's called The Invisible Boy. And while reading that book to her, she said something she never told me before. Sometimes our children hurt in different way. I know it's a bit divert from food, but then she opened up. The book is about a child that is bullied because she's different in class. And when I was reading the story to her, she told me, oh, a boy did this to me in my class. And every day I pick her up from school and ask her, how was your day? She just told me she had a good day. But when we were reading the story, then she told me what has been happening, how a particular child laughed at her and called her black because she's black skin and this, that. And at that moment, that moment creates an opportunity for me as a mom to teach her behavior. If somebody treats you like this is what you do. You tell somebody, you don't just keep it in, because keeping it in can affect her confidence. So from that moment, I knew a book can bring incredible conversation between children and parents. So that is why it is really important for us to read books with our children, even from young age. Books will say things you don't even know how to say. Book will help you teach your child in a very simple way that you haven't even thought about. So that is one of the incredible ways we can use books. And this book, if it comes to food, you want to teach nutrition, you want to teach your child to eat variety of food, or even why they have to eat, this is the book you want to get. It's called My Friend on the Inside. And this book is so intentional in the sense that the production, the the pictures that went into it, everything you can think about in teaching this child the organs, about food pyramid, about, it's all there about being active, how food will help their growth and development. This is the book to get. And that's the reason why it's out there. To be honest, it's not about the money. If a family will read this book and then they will change their behavior, for me, my job is accomplished. I've already accomplished what I've set out to do, which is help one child at a time to make a better decision and be a better adult when they grow up, to live a society free of disease. And it breaks my heart when I hear children have diabetes and they have all this um, obesity. You see their weight. Some can't help it because they are genetically made that way, but some is just by making a better choice of food. So that is it, and is in the market at the moment. It's on Amazon, and it's going to be even more available in different platform. So I'm not sure. Okay, that is it on Amazon. Yeah, is there. All
So
you have to do
this
is
is
type in My
um,
Friend on
this,
the Inside.
yeah,
Yeah.
these are the books. As you can see them, they're both available on Amazon. You can get hard copy. This is the first one is the memoir, which is one day at a time, and I read that memoir from beginning to end, and I literally felt sometimes that I was reading my own story
Mm,
because some of the struggles are so similar and having to overcome all of this, So that is one day at a time. And then we have also my friends on the inside, which is the one Kemi was just talking about right now.
yeah.
Both of them are on Amazon. And even if you just go and just type Kemi Tijani, both of them will come up. It's as simple as that. You will see them, and I believe this will make such wonderful Christmas gifts for people. Even if you don't want to, you don't feel like, oh, this is useful for you, but I guarantee you, somebody in your life will really truly appreciate both or one of these books,
Yeah.
and I'm just really proud of what Kemi has done. The entire, journey from that. And if you can see even my own review about this book, which I will show you now. And let me tell you, this is a honest review. This is not something she asked me, say, oh, go and say this. No, this is just based on what I read and how I felt about this book, and that is just the honest truth. That is it, is the honest truth. And that this book really, it will just help to inspire you. It will help to make you just more open-minded to everything, and also value life,
Mm,
because when somebody has gone through, they have faced all these challenges over and over and over again, it gets to the point where it's just it's just hard, it's really just difficult. and to be able to just move forward from there. You understand what I mean? So, but this book just gives you that hope that you know what, if Kemi can do it, right? And I can certainly do it as well because she's gone through those challenges, and this is my review, and this is not something she asked me, pay me for, whatever. This is just genuine review based on what I read, and I'm going to just read through my review. I said from the first chapter, this story was very captivating and so relatable to the struggles of those with sickle cell. At times, it felt like I was reading my own story. No lie. Sometimes I'll get confused. I'm like, hold on, is this her? Is this me? You know, because that's how it just is so relatable to those struggles. And yeah, so seeing the growth in Kemi from that timid child to the woman that took charge of her health and life was, it was just remarkable. This book doesn't just narrate a story. Remember that. It doesn't just narrate a story, it educates the readers, open our eyes to the experience of many living with the disease, which is sickle cell, but also gives us all hope of not just getting cured, but also through healing. So we are able to live life to the fullest and do all the things they told us were never possible, just like Kemi has done. It really inspires, regardless of whether you have a health condition, whatever your challenges or struggles are. This book will give you that hope because you start seeing that, you know what, if this person can go through these challenges and look at them, look at what they've managed to achieve, see what they are doing, it's going to give you that same hope, that same, just fighting spirit to keep going because you know there is light at the end of the tunnel, you know. So my one of my final questions is something that I wanted to for us to talk about is what challenges, the challenges that you have faced, and kind of show how, like, how do you manage to still stay so positive and keep going even though you are constantly being beaten down and all of these things, like how do you get the strength to keep going? Because so many people would think like, I can't even get over the fact that my boyfriend cheated on me. I can't get over the fact that somebody stole from me. And here you are being able to truly move on, stay positive, even with everything you've gone through. And you fought to find that healing, that complete healing. You believed in it and you did all it took to fight for that. How do you get that strength and be able to stay that much, inspirational and motivated to do these things?
Wow. How do I answer this? Because that's a lot in one.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just I just trying to find a word for it. I think naturally I'm a positive person. I look on the brighter side of life. I don't look at the worst case scenario. Sometimes you say, okay, what could be the worst thing that could happen here? But I don't do that all the time. I look on the brighter side. And also I live intentionally in the sense that if there are some things that is happening that it's not going to move me, it's not going to do anything, why allow it to sit so long on your shoulder? So that would be my own attitude to life, really. And also live in the moment. When I have sickle cell, my prayer a whole day is for me to live my whole day without having a crisis. and without going to the hospital. So if I can do that in a day, then I'm happy. And also, I don't, I take things easy at my own pace, and I'm genuinely happy in what life has given me. I don't look myself down and say, oh, life is not fair. Why do I have to be the one in this? Yes, sometimes I do ask that. But most of the time I stay positive, and I try to help other people as well. If I can encourage them, like my friends know me, I'm the encourager. I will encourage you to be your best, and I will push you forward in your destiny. I think I'm naturally that way. I can't say it's what I learned or a skill I acquired. I'll say I'm naturally that way. And also, the word of God have kept me true, knowing in the book of Jeremiah 29, chapter 11, which is my favorite verse in the whole world, that the plan of God for me is a plan to prosper me and not to harm me, the plan to give me a hope and a future. Though, even though with sickle cell, I know I have hope. I just have to have hope. I can't afford to give up, knowing God looks after me. And at the same time, there's a purpose and there's a plan why I'm on the planet Earth at this particular time, in this particular generation. There's a reason. So, and life is going to throw challenges anyway. I have a choice. Do I just sit down and feel sorry for myself and call other people to feel sorry for me? Or do I take charge of my life and live a life that is purposeful, a life that is intentional, and a life that is productive? Yes, I had pain. Some days I can't get out of bed. But the days I can get up, oh my goodness, you just have to feel my impact that I'm there. So, and I just take one day at a time. I don't overwhelm myself. I learn about knowing my own strengths. If I can't do it, I'll tell you I can't. If I can do it, I'll give it my best. I throw in my best and just live intentionally. And that's it for me. Like, I just take it easy, knowing that I am loved and I love other people. I believe other people love me as well. My friends, my family, my life. That, and I've been so blessed with incredible people. People that will just do anything, go out of their way for me. And I think that is how we should be for other people as well, not just ourselves.
That is
This book I've
truly
written,
incredible. You've
yeah.
literally just spoken, you've literally, it's like you're taking the words out of my mouth.
Hmm.
And that is really truly incredible because I feel like, especially within, let's say, the sexual community, it is so small and is really, really it just we are a minority within a minority. So I always wish when I was growing up, I had people that I could look up to. Some, people that I could be like, look at them, I can get there. But there was a time I actually felt in my heart, just because that was something that has been drilled into my mindset, that I was not going to be able to make it past 21.
Hmm.
And before my 21st birthday, I was crying endlessly. I was so careful. Even if a bicycle is behind me, I would get so jumpy because I thought, that's it. This thing's about to take me out. Because people
Wow.
say these things without really thinking of the impact that it can have on us. You
Yes.
know, they don't think about that, oh, I need to pick my words. I need to be very careful with what I say because it can impact this person's life. They don't. And then on top of that, being women, being black, being from Africa, everybody expects us to be iron. I don't know, Iron Woman, not even Wonder Woman, Iron Woman. They expect us to be strong. You're always there, ready, this, so they don't take us seriously. But that is not right because just because I am not screaming down the A&E, I am not breaking things. I am not cursing people and doing the most. It doesn't mean my pain is not really bad.
Yeah.
It's just that this is something that I've dealt with, and I also have that awareness and knowledge, knowing that doing all of this is not going to change what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is that going to help my pain feel any better?
Mm-hmm.
No. So there are times, even when it comes to like inequality discrimination, I will be in A&E for how long I'll be in pain. They will literally skip me to go and treat somebody that's coming with alcohol, somebody drunk, somebody that's done that has had
Yeah.
self-inflicted injury or situations or whatever. I'm not saying they're not important, but then when those people come in, they will be cursing everybody, breaking things. They will have even police literally escorting them to the bed, toilet, all of that. And these people will be treated like a cotton wool. Whereas us, we go there, it's like, oh, why are you back? What is it this time? And then you have 10 people coming and asking you the same question. And you are thinking to yourself, hold on. Don't these people, like, I've already said it to three of you, and still nobody understands what I'm trying to say? Just like, what do you think this? What do you think to this? What do you think this? You're
Yeah.
the doctor. I am the doctor. You tell me. But these are the things that we have to go through and just ride through beyond that. So if you have that passion that you've always wanted to write a book, don't let that sit on the shelf forever.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's story is valid. You understand? Two people can write about the same topic, but it will not be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It will be completely different
Yeah.
because our approach, our style, everything is structure is all different. So don't say, oh well, they already have people that have published a book or books, so they don't need me.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't let that stop you. Still kind of, you understand, come in and do what you have to do. So I wanted to just ask you, so from here on moving forward, you've got the two books that are on Amazon. Everybody, please go and support and purchase these books for loved one, yourself, your kids, whoever. Trust me, it doesn't matter even if it's your grandma. They can learn something out of it, right? And be inspired and motivated. But what is the next step for you? What are your goals? What's the next step from here on?
Yeah. Um, Next step for me, I've still got so many books in my head, both children book and adult book. I'll be working on capacity to love, which will be like a next series to one day at a time. And also I'll be working on different children's book. In fact, I've got like three, four in my head right now. Some of the ideas I just put it down because I believe so much that a lot of lessons could be teach to children through books that will last for a long time. Like right now, I still remember so many books I read while growing up, like Who Moved My Cheese. I read that back in Nigeria. I can't even remember how many years. That's over 25 years ago. And I still remember that book. Like a book I read now with my kids, I still remember the story is The Giving Tree, you know. And I hope someday somebody will remember, oh, I read that book, My Friends on the Inside, and that changed my attitude towards food. I believe so much that a lot of things, a lot of lessons could be in books that could live even beyond us. Because once we are gone, these books will still be there that tells many generations to come our story. It tells us different lesson and it teach other generation. Because I believe strongly, I don't know why I didn't think that before now, but now that I'm in it, for me there's no going back. There will still be many books in my name by God's grace, I know it's not by my power or by my mind, but by just God's wisdom. So I would love to do that. And also, there is a charity um partnering with at the moment. Is a sickle cell charity in rural area in Nigeria, and they help care for kids and their family, and also work with the healthcare professionals, because most of these untrue stories people tell about sickle cell are made up by these healthcare professionals that doesn't have the right knowledge and the right information. So we are working on training those people and getting them to know the right facts about sickle cell, not just made up um, stories. And we are working on that. So I live here in Ireland, but there's a charity on ground already, and we are really partnering with that charity to be able to do that. So that's one of my goals for next year as well, and definitely more books. Continue to be a better mom, a good wife, and continue to bless my
Before you
generation.
get to that, we're about to get to that because my next question is, what are your top five tips or advice for anybody wanting to, it doesn't matter what they want to do in life or whatever, but through your own journey, what would you say are your top five list that can help somebody else? So just your top five advice or list.
Oh, definitely be true to yourself. Be true to yourself in the sense that be yourself. Everybody can dictate to you who you should be, but go inside of yourself, go within. Who are you? If you haven't asked that question, ask yourself. The reason why I'm proud of that book, of these two books, is because it represents me. Like this book, my friend on the inside, represent my love for children. It represents my love for food, and that love to put the right knowledge out there to the world. It does represent all that. And if somebody will read this book and then their life is transformed, maybe they change their diet and they are eating more intentional, then definitely that part of me, that dream has been fulfilled. Yeah, being true to yourself. And secondly, whatever I'm doing in this world, I still want to be a mom to my kids. I don't want to be an absent mom, a mom that is just there but not really there. I want to be that amazing mom that God has called me to be, and to raise a wonderful children that will bless their generation. And definitely, I love to help other people. Don't just look at yourself and say me, myself, and I, or me, my family, and that's it. Your life is way more than just your circle. You can look out, this year is ending, and sitting down looking, what did I do right this year? What can I improve on? And what can I do better? I'm constantly assessing myself as a mom, as a wife, as a friend. How can I be better? That is in my priority. How can I be a better friend? How can I serve my community better? I do volunteers work. How can I bring myself? If I'm not there, what will people miss? That, oh, then they will notice this person is not there. To my job, what can I bring to the table that can really be myself, apart from being myself, then being a blessing to my world? Then follow your dream. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. If it's in your heart, go for it. If you don't know how, learn new skill, learn to do stuff, and fight for yourself. If you have a condition like sickle cell or any other disease, or any diagnose or any challenges, it can just be a challenges. Don't just sit down and feel sorry for yourself. Stand up, research, learn, try new things, and just flourish. Arise and flourish. You can see it from my logo. Can you see it? Arise and flourish. Don't just sit down and feel sorry for yourself that life has been unfair. Yes, life will be unfair in different ways. but choose to stand up for yourself and demand more from life. Demand more. Don't just life give you anything and just take anything. Demand more. Demand more is by researching, by learning new knowledge. And at the end of the day, look at your life and say, I never leave no stone unturned. That you lived and you lived your life to the fullest. That will be it, Miriam.
That is just amazing. And truthfully, if I was given anybody advice, those are the sort of things that I will say to them as well. And I cannot thank you enough for being here, sharing your journey with us, um, and everything that you have done as well, your achievement, your down, your lows, your highs. So if somebody wants to connect with you, how can they do that? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, they can connect with me on my Instagram, which is Kemi Tom 2002. You can find me there. I have a new Instagram for my book, so there's no distraction on my page where I do flourishing with sickle cell. So the book page is different. It's just Arise and Flourish Books. So you can find out on Instagram as well. Very soon, there's a website that's going to have everything. It's still in work in progress at the moment. And I think myself and Miriam will be doing a lot of things together. So definitely, if you are connected to Miriam, definitely you can get me. I'm just a phone call, a text away.
Yeah, that is truly fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kenny. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
And let me just go through some of those comments before we go
Okay.
off. And if you are watching this later on, I know it's a Friday, and a lot of you are God knows where else. Now that restrictions are dropping down, you can't get everybody at home, but you may be watching this on Saturday or Sunday or, or whatever day that works for you. So I'm just going to go through some of these comments. And Aminata Bangura, who is my beautiful mom, she
Hello,
said,
Abby.
hello, May. Anytime you see that, May is my mom, just to let you
Okay.
know. And then we have John Ibundu, who is a brother of mine and part of the Dell Foundation team. And
Wow.
his birthday was literally just a few days ago. So happy birthday to you, bro. Wishing you a very happy belated birthday. May God continue to strengthen you. And thank you so much for all that you've done for the
Amen.
foundation and myself. I really do appreciate that. And Aminata Bangor said, indeed. And Fantasia Diamond, who is my sister as well from another mister. I'm just adopting everybody, I guess, at this point today. Thank you so much, sis, for being here, for showing up. And thank you so much. If you do have any comments, anything, just repost it. Please share this on your own platforms. Let's get this out there because you never know who may be in need of this message to be able to keep going. And then, I mean, Nata again, my mom said, congratulations. And I'm sure that's for Kemi.
Thank
And she said,
you.
well done, Kemi. Your stories are incredible and very inspiring. It
Oh,
truly is, and I
thank
will
you.
encourage everybody to go and buy, purchase this book. Whether hard copy or ebook, purchase this. And when I say you will learn so much from me, just as my review. My review was honest, everything. It truly is just remarkable. And sometimes I felt like, is this Kemi or is this Miriam? Miriam's story. And that's how incredible it is. But it doesn't matter what you're going through, you are bound to gain something out of that. And yeah, Fantasia Fantasia said, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here. Sorry about all the issues we had, but we really appreciate you being here. And Let's said, Miriam's excellent review of your book seems to be a be perfect summary Well done to mommy. Thank you so much. I sent
Thank
that
you.
the review. Thank you so much. So don't be surprised if all of you keep finding this book in your stocking for Christmas. Whether that or the but Kemi will be joining us again very soon. We want to do some giveaways and everything. And my birthday is coming up, so we're going to be having so much fun. Her birthday, mine is on the 9th of December, hers is on the 12th. So you
Wow.
know it's going down. We
Wow.
are about to have fun. We're about to motivate people and do so much. But
That's
we will keep you
amazing.
updated on everything with that. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching this later on, thank you. And please, please go and check out Kemi's books. The first one is One Day at a Time, which is the memoir. And it doesn't just talk about journey, but going through this entire process of bone marrow transplant. There are some of you that always ask, how can you treat sickle cell? What can be done? That is a perfect way for you to find out
Mhm.
what it entails and why some may be successful at it and others may not be, and also the future of that and what changes can be brought on so more people can do that, because it is a really life-threatening procedure. And we are so grateful for Kemi to be here at the end of the day because we know we need her kidneys and everybody needs her. And if it wasn't for that, we would not even be doing what we're doing now. So please check out her books. You can get one for yourself, you can get a copy for loved ones or anybody. Let me just show you one small what they look like. So when you do go on Amazon, you know exactly what to look for. You don't go, searching around. So this is the memoir, which is One Day at a Time, a sickle cell survival story. And it is incredible. That's the one I did the review for. But she's also got not just this, she's also got my friends on the inside, which is a book about healthy eating, making healthy choices, especially now that we are more so at home. So that is the book, and literally, imagine it's 7.99, and it can make a great difference to somebody's life, your kids or anybody. And I'm going to be purchasing my one. And Kemi is going to be coming again at some point with my birthday. We put it together so somebody can win a signed copy
Wow. That's
of
nice.
the book. So I am looking forward to that, and I'm so
Yeah.
excited. And we've got so much more when it comes to my birthday and everything else that we're going to be revealing to you. So stay tuned, subscribe. Please go and check out Kemi's, follow her to be up to date with everything else that she is doing. And just before we go, I don't want to forget this. I want to put a shameless plug in of my, and that's why I said shameless plug in
It's so
because I
funny.
don't even care. So before we go, take a look at this and we'll be
I'm
closing.
getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement that explode like a bomb. I get to push my.
Nice.
Oh no, it's not supposed to be on.
I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement that explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day.
everybody. I hope you love that advert. That's actually my services. And so, if you do need a business coach, we are getting to the new year, and so many people have this New Year's resolution to, this year is going to be different. But guess what? It is not going to be different until you take a different path, until you take the right steps to make sure that it is different. I'm a business coach and a marketing strategist, and I help individuals and businesses to just structure, plan, and delegate task accountability to get you to achieve that goal. So if you are interested, let me know. And we are also going to be doing adverts in between our show for on the power hour. So please, if you do want to advertise your business, product, whatever it is you want to review, please feel free to contact me. That is the email right there, miriamk913 at gmail.com, if you are interested in any of this, and we can work it out. Kemi, once again, I can't thank you enough for being here, and I look forward to seeing everything else that you have coming up. And
Oh,
please, everyone, let's go and support our own sister. And also at the same time, we are gaining so much and being inspired by that. And with her children's book, we can pass that love, that knowledge onto our kids who are tomorrow's leaders and the next generation. So
yeah.
thank you so much, Kim and Kemi, and we are going to leave you now. And all right,
Thank you so
so
much for having me. Thank you
you
so
are
much. I've had a
you are
one.
more than welcome
Thank
always,
you so
everyone.
much. Yeah.
Have a blessed
Thanks
evening,
everyone for joining. Thank
and you will be seeing us again very soon.
Yes.
This is what I'm going to say. I will surely buy some of the books for my grandkids. I'm not going to tell them, Mom, that they all going to be expecting those books will be expecting every gift. Just to keep it safe with me. But
Thank you.
everybody needs to. But thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Kemi.
Thanks
Thanks for
everyone.
joining
Take
me,
care,
and please
Miriam.
keep going and keep doing great things. And whenever you're ready, you're always welcome to join
Oh,
us on the platform. Thank you so much for your time.
amazing.
Good night, everyone. And if you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. And we're going to be out of here. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.